Hi, my Adrian Awesomes. Long time no see, or long time no talk, long time no anything really. I am so sorry. I do just want to say a hearty thank you to everybody for your patience, understanding, and I am sincerely sorry that I have not been there as much this semester. That COVID is even vaccinated, nothing to sneeze at. That is for sure. But anyway, I think we're hopefully. Well, I feel like I'm on the other side of it. Couldn't be with you today. I was a little leery about the forecast and my drive from here in Detroit to Adrian. There's some sketchy sections, and I tried to drive it last year about this same time, and had some major issues and had to turn around. So I didn't even chance it this morning. So anyway, I think I'm back. I think we cut out there for a second, but anyway, I do want to talk to you. I know we've looked at the inquiry research project in class before. I wanted to reiterate some points based on some questions that I have received. So we'll start by looking at that right now. So it's 6 to 8 pages. If you get to 5.5, that is totally fine. Okay, you know I'm not a big page guy, so but I do feel like that we get as close to 6 pages as possible. Then you're probably covered everything that you need to cover when you're answering all the specific sections and the areas for this particular project. And as you know, we've talked about we at least have 6 credible sources altogether. And this here has a stipulation: 3 of the sources must be scholarly, peer-reviewed journal articles or books. Get as close to that if you can. I know that I've had conversations with several of you. Some of the topics that was a little more challenging. So just make sure then that your 6 sources are at least credible. And we talked about the crap test. And so we talked about making sure that the information is reliable, that it's current, that it's accurate, that the author has good credentials, and that their purpose is clear, and that it goes with what you're saying. And we're finding that conversation. Of course, we've got the audience, things like that we've kind of talked about for how that what that looks like. So, what I do want to talk about more specifically is thinking about more the outline part of this particular assignment. So recall that we have pulled up the inquiry research project outline before, and this kind of goes into greater detail, specifically as to kind of what each one of the sections needs to address. Recall too that a lot of the sections we've already pretty much mostly worked on a little bit, right? So if we go back to our proposal is going to have a lot of the things that we talk about right here in the introduction, in our rationale. And here again, please, if you're at a page and a half, or you're a page and a quarter, or you're at 1 page or whatever, and you've addressed these all very specifically and thoroughly, don't worry about whether or not it makes it all the way down to page 2 and these kinds of things. So just please keep those things in mind. Don't overly concern yourself with the page count of each particular section. Okay, these are guides maybe, or these kinds of things. The greater importance, as you know, I'm looking more at your overall project. So provide a brief attention getter. Remember, we practiced that in class. How are you going to get your audience's attention? Right? And we talked about how we're going to introduce the topic, and we talked about why it's important. We've even kind of written these out a little bit, not only in class but in previous projects. Then we have letter C here. What do they need to know, right? Why did you take on this research project? We've kind of written that out already in project 1 and 2. All right, so we've got that stuff going on. And then you've got the research process, right? Now we're talking about really project 3, right? How we found sources. We kind of did a little bit of a research log, so to speak, right? And how we found our sources. What databases did we use? And then you get to B, C, and D here, kind of like, okay, was researching the topic difficult? What problems did you encounter based on your research? What disciplines or areas of study do you think are coming back? So if you're getting mostly popular sources versus scholarly sources, what do you think about, now we kind of might think about what's the author's credentials?